Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, so let me just give you a little breakdown. I got to put my glasses on because I'm getting old. So I'm going to give you an overview of CMARA and our mission to provide hands-on field research experience in marine biology. So we're based in Clearwater, Florida, and this is a great location because we're right near the Gulf, but we also have something that a lot of other areas don't have around here, and that's barrier islands. And what those barrier islands allow us to do is still conduct research inshore in these more estuarine environments without having to go offshore all the time to do research. One of the other big things about having that kind of location is that, let's say that it's offshore, it's 5 to 7 foot seas and terrible weather, we can still stay inshore behind those islands and get into much smaller waves, and it's much safer, and we can still do research without having to just not go out that day. So we study sharks and rays, and we have an emphasis on conservation and ethical research practices. One of the things that we like to tell everybody is that our mortality rate is less than 1%, and across the country, that's probably the lowest you're ever going to see. Even other places, I won't name them, but let's just say a lot of other places that do the same kind of thing we do, their mortality is 40% or higher. So we are really happy about our extremely low mortality. So the summer program, it happens from May through August. Our activities include catching, tagging, collecting data on sharks and rays. We go out into the field every single day, Monday through Friday. On Tuesdays, we do a night trip from like 4:30 until about 11:30 at night. And we do have some classroom lectures, usually in the mornings, for about an hour to an hour and a half before we go out on the boats. And then we go out on the boats for about 6 to 6.5 hours a day. You can sign up for 1 week, you can sign up for multiple weeks. The longer you stay, the more responsibility you get, and the more that you get to experience in the program. All right, so some of our current research projects. What are habitat hotspots for different elasmobranch species, and why do we see them? Are the stingray populations increasing or decreasing compared to the relative abundance of sharks in the area? So if we have a low abundance of certain sharks, are we seeing an increase in stingrays or not so much? And then have size classes of sharks changed over time? So, we catch usually certain size sharks depending on where we're at. So we know that certain areas we're going to go and catch Atlantic sharpnose, and those are all going to be mature. Then we know that in a different area, we're going to go and catch tiger sharks, and all those tiger sharks are going to be immature. And then how has that changed over time? Do we start seeing more juveniles, more adults? How does that go? So we're gathering population data for several shark species, 12 right now, and 6 ray species. And then we've been doing this since 2013. It's a time series database that is got tons and tons of data points, millions. And the more data we have, the better we're going to understand what's happening around this area with our sharks and rays. So future research projects. CMARA has now joined with Moore Marine College. And so since it's part of the college now, we're going to be doing some year-round projects. And some of the new ones are our tagging innovation objective. So what we're going to be doing is trying to develop and test new tags for elasmobranchs. And our goal is to give you more information off of a tag than what you would get now. And maybe finding some ways to tag animals that reduces the impact on the animal, or at least decreases mortality when you're researching that particular animal altogether. We're also going to do some increased acoustic tagging. So acoustic tagging helps us understand shark and ray movements. We have a better knowledge of their behavioral ecology. We can monitor their population health, and we can collaborate and educate and provide public awareness on what we're finding around this area. Currently, we have 3 receivers in the water and 14 tagged animals, some sharks and rays. And we want to add 2 to 3 receivers and 10 to 20 tags a year for the next few years until we can ramp it up even some more. You guys good? Any questions yet? I'm gonna have plenty of questions at the end. We good?
We're good so far.
Moving forward. All right, I go fast sometimes, so if you need to hit the brakes, let me know. All right, some of our program details. So we've got a research scientist track. That's 1 to 3 weeks if you come during the program. Hands-on field work and data collection. You're doing the same thing as everybody else, daily lectures. And then the chief scientist track's 4 weeks plus. So you're gonna be able to take on a role as a team leader, which you'll have your team on the boat. You'll be the team leader and like 4 other people that are on the boat. So you can help direct who's going to tag, who's going to collect data, who's going to record the data, who's going to measure, things like that. Those leadership roles are good for your resume and just giving you some more experience in the field doing that. And then acknowledgement and any published research. We've got a couple papers that are getting finished up over the last couple years, and new ones getting ready to start. We also have some unique experiences like the manatee observation kayak trip. We have some clear, translucent kayaks made out of Lexan. And we go up the Weeki Wachee River and you can see manatees and get out and swim with the manatees. That river's spring fed, so it's extremely clear and about 72 degrees year round. So in the summertime, it's pretty nice to be able to get into some cooler water. We're also doing a Megalodon scuba diving expedition. So we're going to be going down towards Venice, Florida, going out doing a 3-tank scuba dive and looking for Megalodon teeth. I have found some really big ones down there, and it's common to find them every time you go. Sometimes you might only find a 2 or 3 inch tooth, and then you can find up to 5 and 6 inch teeth down there. So it's pretty cool. Wow. Something that's not on here that we're going to be doing this summer is an underwater classroom. So the underwater classroom, you have to be scuba certified or get scuba certified while you're down here. But what it is we're going diving on an artificial reef off the coast of Clearwater. You're going to go down with an instructor, one of our professors. They're going to hold a lecture underwater. And how they're doing that is we use full face masks with 2-way communicators. So they'll be able to talk to you while you're underwater, do like a 10-minute lecture, and then you guys are going to be able to have back and forth conversations where you can ask questions about everything you're seeing because the communicators allow you to talk back and forth the whole time you're underwater. So that's pretty cool, and nobody else does that, so I think it's going to be pretty neat. Money, everybody wants to know about money, so we got to talk about that real quick. Early enrollment's over, but if you were looking at next year, it's $849 a week. Late enrollment's where we are now. That's $949 a week. And housing, if you need it, it's $345. And that includes basically everything except your food. But the housing has full kitchens, laundry rooms, Wi-Fi, and we take you to the grocery store to get whatever you need to make your food for the week or however long you're here. And then just some testimonials about how awesome we are. Everybody? No? Okay. We are pretty cool though. How our application process works is we're open to individuals over 18. Okay. We have an open enrollment for CMAR right now. It may change later with the college, but for right now it's open enrollment. You put a $249 deposit down, secures your spot, then you pay the balance when it's due. All the information is on the website, which is here. It's coastalmara.com. There's our email. Our phone number comes directly to me. Some of our social media. And then if I'm fairly technologically not so great, but I'm still going to try to pull up this video for you guys to watch. It's only like 45 seconds long, so I'm not putting you through something too bad. Just so you can see some pictures of what we do.
Dive into an adventure like no other this summer.
Oh, we can't see the video.
CMERA, Shark and Ray Field Research Program, is your gateway to hands-on learning in marine biology. From rod and reel fishing to setting long lines and tangle nets, you'll work directly with sharks, rays, and the amazing wildlife that call these waters home. Picture yourself in the field, not the classroom, gaining real-world experience and unforgettable memories. And it's not just about sharks and rays. Dolphins, manatees, and sea turtles often join us for the journey. Spaces are limited for summer 2025. Don't miss your chance to be part of this one-of-a-kind research adventure. Visit www.coastalmara.com to sign up today. CERA, where education meets the ocean.
All right, cool video, right? Come on, guys, give me something here. All right, let me go back, get out of all of this nonsense. All right, so questions. Surely you guys want to know something. You've got me all to yourselves. You can either ask questions about CMARA, you can ask questions about the college, whatever you guys want to know, I'm here for you.
What are the requirements for acceptance into the program?
So acceptance into CMARA is an open acceptance. Basically, if you put your deposit down, as long as there's space in the program, we let you come. Because right now we're not offering any credit or anything. It's going to change probably starting 2027. And then things may change, but for right now, it's just open enrollment. You want to come, you just fill out the application. As long as there's space available, we take you. Right now, we only have, I think, that about 3 weeks that are full.
How many people do you normally take?
So in the past, we've taken up to 40 people a week, spread across 4 different boats. So there's only 10 per boat. But this year we've actually dropped because we're getting overwhelmed. So the max that we're going to have is 30 a week. We still have 4 boats, but we're just kind of cutting our numbers down a little bit, honestly, because the college is taking too much of my time. And I have to get my college students out there as well. So.
What's like the max amount of weeks you could attend?
So we had somebody a couple years ago attend the entire summer, all 16 weeks. So you can attend as many weeks as you like, although I would say really the average is about 4 weeks. 4 weeks is when you bump up to the chief scientist, you get acknowledged on any published papers, you get a little bit more supervisory experience being the team lead after those first couple weeks. So that's usually what people try to get to if they can. We still have a ton of people come for just 1 week though, because a lot of times somebody will come for a week or 2 this year, and then they'll come back the following year. And all the weeks are cumulative. So if you come 2 weeks this year and 2 weeks next year, the second year you're going to be the chief scientist and start doing supervisory stuff and get on the papers and like that.
Do you have like an open resource database, or is that like private to the college?
No, it's open. If you come down and you work with us, any of the data that you want from the summer, all you have to do is you send us an email. We send you just a little data agreement, kind of our details on what you can do with it and everything. But there's no cost or anything like that. You just fill out the form and then we send you the data.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we don't keep it just to ourselves. We're more than happy for you guys to use it in posters or presentations or papers that you're doing on your own. Because we do have master's students come as well that are working on research projects. We've got one this year coming from University of Miami.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
What kind
Yeah,
of
we have students coming from about 250 colleges and universities throughout the U.S. and international. Not every year, of course, but we run about 230 students through the program during the summer.
Yeah, that's incredible. And you said you started this in 2012?
2012, right, in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Wow.
And then this area, it's just better for diversity. It's better because of the barrier islands. We can do more research. So let's just say if our research program was on the east coast of Florida, we would, out of the summer, we would get blown off the water due to weather, weeks or maybe a couple months of the year total. Normally, during our summer, we run 90 days. We may lose 1 day, maybe 2 all summer long due to weather. Those barrier islands make a big difference.
Yeah.
Plus, we have such a great diversity of species between sharks and rays. I mean, it's not unusual to go out on a boat one day and catch 4 or 5 different species of shark. Doesn't happen every day, of course, but you know, it's good to have diversity.
Oh, definitely. Is there certain species that you prioritize in the research at the college, or it's just anything?
So no, we're not really prioritizing anything specifically all the time, except that we are going to be working with a professor from Rollins College over in Orlando, doing some. It's a study we're doing on great hammerheads, and basically, hammerhead species in general are a little bit sensitive when it comes to being out of the water and on a boat, or just caught on a long line or anything. So we think that there's some type of correlation between their cephalofoil and the blood vessels being so close to the top of it that they're basically overheating. So we're going to be taking some blood and doing some research with that professor on having them out of the water like that, and then putting like basically cold towels over their cephalofoil while we do research to see if it lowers their stress response. We have done satellite tagging on tiger sharks in the past, where we satellite tagged, I think it was about 14 tiger sharks, and tracked their movements through GPS. And we'll be doing more of that. This year we're doing tagging with identification tags and pit tags. We'll probably do some acoustic tags as well. And anybody will tell you that tagged sharks, the reason all our sharks aren't tagged with satellite tags is they're a couple $1,000s a piece. So it's expensive. It's costly to do that.
For sure.
Yeah.
What was the biggest shark you've ever seen?
So the biggest one we saw, different than what we caught, because we tried to catch him, we couldn't do it, but it was probably a 14-foot great hammerhead.
Wow.
We've got pictures of a 12-footer. We caught an 11-plus footer. That's our biggest shark that we've actually caught. It was 11 something. And but we've caught several other sharks, like a nurse, a tiger, that have been in the 10-foot range. And well, several tigers in the 10-foot range. But the great hammerhead was the biggest. He was probably 14 feet, and we tried everything in the boat we threw at that guy and couldn't catch him. He was not interested in hanging out. Now we routinely swim. Our long lines get set for 45 minutes, so we swim sometimes in between long lines, and we do swim with sharks when they're around. Last year we were swimming with a couple bull sharks, and we've swam with tigers and great hammerheads and black tips and bonnet heads and black nose. It just really depends on the shark and where we're at, and we check out their kind of attitude first. And then if their attitude's good and we got some clear water, then we don't mind people getting in and playing with them. Because if they want to get away, they just leave.
Yeah.
So you can't get after them. It's just like the dolphins. They come super close, but if you try to touch them, they're out. They head on out. Yep. We also have a lot of manatees near the dock and out when we're doing research.
I love that. They're so cute.
Yeah. So just last week we went out on Friday with the college students. We caught, I think, 7 cow nose and a bonnet head shark, but there was a lot more. There were a lot more bonnet heads around. We just actually were concentrating on a cow nose for that day. So we're going out again tomorrow. We're probably going to do some more on the bonnet head side tomorrow. So, but they're definitely around already. The water temperature's warming up compared to what it was, which was in the high 50s, and now we're about 68. And during the summer, in the shallow waters, it'll get all the way up sometimes to 92.
92. Wow.
Yep. But offshore, it'll get usually to a high of maybe like 86 or 87, which is still very warm and great.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because when you've been in Florida a long time, you don't want to be in cold water anymore. No. And cold water to us is like 80. We like it when it's above 80. Okay, questions. I was looking around. I thought I had a satellite tag here on my desk I was going to show you, but I don't. I don't know what happened to it. Any more questions? Anything I can tell you about the college or the Sumera program? And also we have, I don't know if you guys saw, but we have a sea turtle conservation program that we're running down in Columbia this year. It's a 3-week program. You go down there, you're going to work with hawksbill, juvenile hawksbill and loggerhead sea turtles. And then on May 24th, we're releasing 200 turtles into the ocean. So it's kind of cool.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, 200 sea turtles. All the information for that program is on the college website, which is moremarinecollege.com. But yeah, we've got it only 7 people can go, and there's 5 people going now, so we only have 2 more spots left, but that's a pretty cool program. So I'm going to be there for orientation, and then I'll come back to do Sumera, and then I'll go back down there for the release. And so we're going to try to live stream and everything for everybody to see when we're down there, because 200 is a lot of turtles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You had a question?
Oh, I was gonna ask, do you guys offer any programs, whether it be in person or online, outside of the summer?
That are online?
Or just anything in general outside of summer?
So not right now. The only other program that we're going to be doing is in December. We did it last year. We're doing another trip to Colombia, where we're going to be doing some scuba diving at the aquarium. We're working at the aquarium that's down there that we're partnered with. You'll be working with some sea turtles. They also have sharks and rays there too. And then we have some lectures when we're down there and stuff. But that's a 2-week program that we run in December. And if you give me a second, I can tell you what the date is, because I don't know right offhand. But, okay, so it's not that one. I don't have it up here yet. How about that? All right. It's sometime in December. I want to say somewhere around like the 14th or the 12th. And I think we're doing it for 10 days. Yeah, I want to say it's the 13th through like the 21st.
Okay.
So that's just another program, but we don't do a whole lot online. We are going to be doing kind of an online video series where we're going to be talking about sharks and how to tell the difference between the guys and the girls. We're going to do some dissection lectures and some different things like that. But that'll be over the summer as we go through the program. Yep. What else you want to know?
I did this program in 2022,
and you've loved it, of course, and that's why you're here.
Contact and stuff. It's crazy
Right?
to see how much it's grown since. I've gotten, I would do it again because I got certified. Before I wasn't certified in scuba diving. The megalodon sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
So many.
I think that we're going to film our underwater classroom as well. And I think that's going to be really cool because if you're a scuba diver, when you're down there, it's very hard sometimes to talk to people on the boat about what you saw and try to explain, well, I saw this fish and it had this, and it's hard to remember. So it's going to be great when you're down there to be able to ask the professor while you're still underwater, like, hey, what's this fish right here, as it's swimming by. So I think that's going to be kind of cool. And then hopefully we're going to get one of the receivers for the boat. So that receiver will allow you to listen to everybody underwater when they're doing their lectures and asking questions and stuff.
I was actually wondering, how does that work if you have the regulator?
So it's a full face mask. So there's nothing in your mouth.
Oh.
So it completely covers your face. And then on the side here, it's got this thing called a buddy communicator. And so on the front of your mask, I was trying to see if I don't have it. I have stuff laying around all the time, but I don't have it. You just push a button on the side and it allows you to transmit and talk to the other person. But your whole face is covered by this mask It's an OTS Guardian face mask is what it is. You can look it up. And it's a full face mask and it allows you to talk while you're underwater. So it's pretty awesome.
And how does that work with pressurization? Can you not go a certain depth or?
Nope, you can do just like a regular mask. So what it has on the inside are nose blocks. So you basically just take the whole entire mask and push it towards you, and it closes off your nose so you can equalize.
That's incredible.
Yep. So we're going to use those down in Columbia and here for the underwater classroom. So I think it's going to be a pretty cool thing because the college itself is getting to have basically its own dive shop. So we're going to have compressors and everything and all of our dive gear available for our students just, at the school. Anything else you guys want to know? All right, so who am I signing up? No. All right, well, I'm always available if you guys want to email or you can call me, text me, whatever, if you have any questions. But we're here to help, and if you guys are interested in coming, we'd love to have you. It's a special thing here in the summertime, as Paul would know, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah. And we're going to be getting a new dive boat too, hopefully in the next month. It's a 32-foot Newton, so
Wow.
we're happy about that.
That's
We've got 5 right now, but we're going to change one out for another one. So,
cool.
all right. Anything else? Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks for having me.
Thank
Like
you
I
so
said, if you got
much.
any questions, text me, call me, send up a carrier pigeon, whatever you need to do.
Thank you for
All
your
right.
time.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Okay, take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.